On today's show, we're going to give Dean Blandino smart new rules that will change the NFL forever.
Let's go. Roll the intro.
All right.
Yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie Tony Fusco Show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
Huge show today, but before we
yeah.
get into that, yesterday, I just turned on the TV, just to see what these jackasses on these other sports shows are talking about.
Please, why?
It is so pathetic, Tony, to see these grown men sitting around and talking about sports like they know anything when they have the absolute most garbage takes. And this is the reason, people, as you know, why the millions of viewers out there like you tune in week after week.
Yeah, you can take whatever we say at space value.
Talking about value, and a great segue there, Tony, because on that note, you can currently get 20% off at the official Fusco Show merch store on all merchandise. Just go to the site in the description of this episode and, make someone's holiday season by getting them an $18 mug with our face on it. Right, Tony?
Yeah, what a holiday treat.
Anyway, as we said, huge show today.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to tell you why this Chase Young trade just reeks of corruption. And it's the Cowboys-Eagles week, Tony, and we're going to get into what Dak Prescott just said and why it shows such poor judgment.
He needs to take Dak what he said.
Yeah. And talking about poor judgment, it was another rough week for the NFL refs who continue to suck at their jobs.
What else is no?
We also got these teams continuing their idiotic crusade to ban the tush push. So to discuss this, we're going to bring on, one of those inept officials.
Yeah.
A Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl denier, as he refuses to admit the fix was in there.
Totally.
Former Senior Vice President of NFL Officiating, Dean Blandino, will be joining us again. And as we said, we're going to be sharing some smart ideas for NFL rules, aren't we, Tony?
Yeah, and if he doesn't like them, we're going to rule him off the show.
Yeah, but before that, time for a word from our good friends at Denny's. Do you eat breakfast at home? Well, then you're a f***ing loser. Isn't that right, Tony?
Yeah, you gotta go out for breakfast. The other day, my Aunt Marie's boyfriend Nunzio told me that she loves to eat sausage. And I said, you should have her try Denny's sausage. And he said, would Denny mind me watching? And then you know what? I just realized something.
Yeah, let's just move along. We'll hear about that later. Anyway, go to Denny's and try their Super Slam breakfast. Tell them Paulie and Tony sent you to get preferred seating with freeway view. Denny's.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, we got that business out of the way, so it's time to get into our top story.
Top story.
Huge news at the trade deadline. Washington making yet another regrettable decision in the not proud history of that organization. This time trading pass rusher and number 2 overall pick Chase Young to the 49ers for nothing.
Yeah.
And this further helping San Francisco cover for their quarterback's outright shittiness. And, Tony, this is just a pathetic look by all involved, isn't it?
It's disgusting. Trading a superstar like Chase Young for just a 3rd-round pick? I have to ask, where's the Federal Trade Commission in all this?
Yep.
Aren't they supposed to stop trades that are unfair and unbalanced?
Yep.
This is yet another clear failure of government, and it just reeks that this all went down in Washington.
The swamp.
It's just more governmental corruption, and frankly, I, for one, am sick of it.
So eloquently said, Tony. And
Thank you.
will never see the Eagles making such a classless lowball move. Because when they make trades, it's always fair and equitable. We saw this last year, when they took the Titans' only good player, A.J. Brown, and gave them back, them something. But, it was totally fair.
Absolutely. Business laws protect against monopolies, but what about monopolies? It's unfair that the 49ers have almost every good pass rusher. Nick Bosa, Randy Gregory, that Armstrong guy, and now Chase Young. The government should be stopping this today.
Yup, and this is why we are urging you, our millions of listeners and viewers, write your local congressman and tell them you will not stand for this injustice. But when you send that letter, don't use the postal service because as we established, they can't be trusted with letters and ballots too.
Yeah, you definitely can't trust them.
Yeah. Well, to another big story, the Raiders firing head coach Josh McDaniels in the middle of his second season. And Tony, a lot of critics here are saying that this was a bad hire from the get-go. But those people don't know what they're talking about, do they, Tony?
Yeah. When the Raiders hired Josh McDaniels, they actually weren't that far off. Just look at this list of NFL head coaches sorted in alphabetical order. As you can see, Josh McDaniels is right between Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel, Bills coach Sean McDermott,
winner,
and Super Bowl winning Rams coach Sean McVay.
Legend.
So right there, that shows the Raiders were not that far off when they made this selection.
Such terrific analysis, Tony. And now turning to this week, and obviously the big matchup, the Cowboys facing the Eagles in Philly. Now, we've got the line set at Eagles minus 47, but the so-called experts out there who know jack squat, well, they have it at Eagles minus 3. But that's because they're saying that the Cowboys had a strong showing last week against the Rams. But, Tony, come on. What is the one part of every game that matters most?
The second half. We've always said the Cowboys can't close out games. And last week, they proved it yet again. Sure, the score at halftime was Cowboys 33, Rams 9, whatever. But in the second half, the Rams soundly beat the Cowboys 11-10. As they say, it's not how you start, but how you finish. And that's why the second half score matters much more than the final score.
Such spot-on analysis, Tony. And just staying on this week's matchup, we saw some of the most bizarre pregame comments ever recorded. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was asked about his thoughts about the Eagles, and he said, quote, he didn't want to poke the bear. But then Dak Prescott came out and said, quote, you can poke it. If you see me and a bear in a fight, pour honey on me.
Weird.
And Tony, if you're a Cowboys fan, you have to be concerned by these comments, don't you?
Absolutely. Cowboys fans should be very concerned about Dak's judgment here. I mean, if you're going to fight a bear, the last thing you want to do is pour honey on yourself. It's sticky, and bees will attack you. Frankly, this makes me question Dak's ability as a leader and a fighter. He's certainly not someone you can trust leading men into battle or into a forest full of bears.
Great points all around, Tony. And finally, just one quick baseball note. People out there are saying this Rangers-Diamondback series was, quote, bad for baseball. And it's the last matchup that the MLB could have possibly wanted. Tony, that is totally wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to look at it from a business perspective. Like, if Houston made the World Series, well, that's just a city. But if Texas makes the series, well, that's an entire state. All of Texas versus all of Arizona? I mean, that's like 100 million potential viewers right there.
Terrific business insight there, Tony. And well, I'd love to discuss that more, but we got to move on. I see our guest coming online, so let's bring him on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
All right, this guy. Former senior vice president of officiating at the NFL. Of course, you know him from the NFL on Fox, where you can see him every Sunday desperately trying to explain all the ref shit he calls. I know, as we established earlier on the show this year, he is a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl denier, right? Refuses to admit that the refs handed the game to the Chiefs, as we all saw.
All the evidence is there, but sad.
Here he is, Dean Blandino. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm a denier, but I'm kind of a denier in general. I believe the Earth is flat. I don't believe in the moon landing. None of that stuff.
What in the
and here's
hell
one
are
that
you
I don't believe
about?
Philly cheesesteaks overrated.
He's trying to distract from the subject.
He's trying to
let's talk about you, because talk about distractions. You're wearing a Lions hat.
Please.
Well, I wanted to come on, because I wanted to represent the best team in the NFC right now. So that's why I'm wearing my Lions hat.
Do you not know what an eagle looks like? It's green. It's got a white emblem. The Eagles.
Oh, yeah. The Eagles. Yeah, they're okay. They're not bad.
Explain to me why you're a Lions fan. How did that come to be? Was this something you just started in like the last month when you checked the standings?
The last couple of years I've just really bonded with the fan base. I like Dan Campbell. I like what they're building there. It's a franchise that hasn't won, and they've been a kind of a tortured fan base, and so I'm on the bandwagon, and I'm pro Lions.
What state are you from, Dean?
I'm from New York. I am. You guys don't want to hear this, but I grew up a Giants fan. Yeah. And so, that's, it's an arch rival of the Eagles. And I grew up,
explains it.
When the Giants were winning Super Bowls in the 80s and 90s, and the Eagles were not.
Now your beloved team is in the toilet, so now you're jealous.
Yup.
Now you're trying to stop the Eagles dynasty by banning the tush push.
Yup.
There's a concerted effort by these idiots out there to get rid of it.
There.
So you used to work in the league offices. Don't you think it's unfair that the league is so clearly biased against the Eagles?
Well, I think certainly the tush push, the brotherly shove, I personally... I like the Hertz helper. I came up with that one. I think that's a good name for it.
Terrible, but okay.
But I think the Eagles are very successful with that play, and the league is, like you said, just trying to take them down and not give them that added advantage. But I do remember a game. I don't know if you remember. They did play the Dolphins just recently, and the Dolphins had 10 penalties called against them, and the Eagles, I think had I'm not sure, but it rhymes with Schmiro. That's how many.
Because you know what rhymes with Schmiro is 0, which is the number of brain cells you have. You see what they do is, because you're not bright enough, they let them go in the regular season. When the Eagles get to
then all of a sudden the script is flipped.
Whistle here, whistle there.
You think we don't know?
You know.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys, tough to get anything by you guys. Yeah.
Here's my problem with the tush push. We're saying that it's dangerous for other teams, but the other teams, they're doing it poorly, right?
Yeah.
So, they're kind of doing it in the wrong way. So shouldn't they the ones be penalized for, like defamation or something like that?
I think, copyright infringement. I think there's a lot there. The Eagles do. I will say this. The Eagles have perfected the play. They have the right personnel. They have the right. And I don't think it's, yes. Does it look unusual? Does it look like normal football? No. But there's skill involved, there's technique involved, and the Eagles are very good at it. And
so
I think
you're saying that it should remain legal. Is that what you're saying?
I've kind of done a 180 on the play. I didn't like it, and now I kind of have seen, okay, if you can do it properly, and you should be able to gain that advantage. Because
the 180 was when you removed your head from your asshole, and then it's now rightly up there with a Lions hat on it. Okay,
maybe we need to just start a campaign to keep the push in. We need to start positive.
There you go.
Like a positive, like a kind of a narrative around this play and all the good things that it does. If you guys
what you're saying is there should be a tush push.
Exactly. If we can come up with the positives about the play and what it brings, how it is a contributing to society as a whole. If we can come up with that, I think we can do it.
Just don't call it the Hertz helper, because that is a terrible name. Okay, just keep that to yourself.
Like hamburger helper, Hertz helper. Come on.
Again, thank you for proving my point. But there is maybe an anti-Pennsylvania bias. You saw last week Deontay Johnson, Steelers wide receiver. He said that, the refs blew all the calls in the Jags-Steelers game, basically handing the win to Jacksonville. Yeah. And he said, quote, the refs must have gotten paid good or something. So that leads to my next question. What is the pay structure for refs? Is it like on a pay-by-whistle situation?
No, they get paid per game. So they get paid per game based on actually the years of seniority. So the longer tenured officials get paid more per game, and the less experienced officials get paid less per game. But it's not per whistle. It's not per flag. It's not per bad call, as you guys might think. It's per game.
So are you saying that refs in the Super Bowl were about 21 years old, like interns? Is that what happened?
There you go.
So you're saying that the Eagles lost. You're still on this thing that the Eagles lost because of the officials. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Are there also commission-based incentives? Like when they help the Chiefs win, do they get like a nice extra commission on top of that?
That I'm not at liberty to speak about that. That I can't.
There you go.
Legally
just
talk
answered.
about that. I can't talk about
Right, because it would violate the severance package you got from the
the
health
NDA.
Exactly.
Yep, the NDA. Yeah.
All right. Clearly, he's too, scared to talk about certain things.
Yep.
All right, but let's talk about this. There was another embarrassment by the refs this week. In the final moments of the Jets-Giants game, you saw the Jets, they raced to spot the ball. They spiked it to stop the clock, and some people have said the refs didn't spot the ball. All right, but don't you think the system is kind of bizarre here? We have all these able athletes on the field, yet we're relying on, a 71-year-old with arthritis to run up and spot the balls. Shouldn't that be done by, able people?
Well, yeah, the officials, there are very few 71-year-old arthritic officials out there. They're much younger. And in that situation, the officials did what they were supposed to do. The center put the ball down. The umpire, who was in great position, came, tapped the football, got out of the way, and the Jets were able to get a snap off and spike it. So I think it worked in that situation.
Yeah, but it could have moved much faster. Tony, you had an idea. Tony, tell him.
You know those grabbers that old people have at the supermarkets to get stuff off the top shelf? Those extending grabbers. Yeah. What if the refs could just sit on the sideline with a really long grabber and just move the ball that way? So we don't have to wait for their old asses to run up and get it.
The football field, right, it's 53 1/3 yards across. So you'd want to split that. So you're talking about, 26. It would have to be at least 26 yards, 26 and change long. That's a pretty long grabber. Are you gonna be able to get the leverage on the football?
Don't worry. Tony has great experience handling long poles.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I got all the leverage. Maybe you see a long pole and you don't know what to do with it.
You do in the privacy of your own home.
I know how to use it. Don't worry.
I don't want to picture this image in my mind right now. I don't know if I'm ever going to get out.
We thought you were from Italian background, but maybe not there. I guess maybe only by name.
Well, I'm just saying the long grab.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, here, look, Dean, as we always do when we bring you on the show, we like to give you our brilliant ideas for new rules.
Yep,
right?
help you out.
Because, you have trouble coming
like
up
the
with them
long
on your
grabber. Yeah, yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Even better. And what we obviously want you to do is when you hear these things, take them to your buddy there, Roger Goodell, and, don't take credit for them, but, just relay.
No, I will give you guys all the credit. Trust me.
Here we go.
There you go.
First one. Here's the first new rule. If a ref makes a call, right, and then that call is overturned, no ref can blow their whistle for the next 5 minutes. Thoughts?
Oh, interesting. So if a call gets overturned in replay, then they can't make a call for the next 5 minutes.
Is there an echo in here? Yeah.
It's like a penalty box.
But just that ref or any of them?
Any ref.
No ref
ruined
calls.
So I think I like this idea, but I want to kind of piggyback on it. I like the general concept, but I think it would be better if the official that threw the flag, so it's more of a punitive on that official, say, hey, you threw the flag, you were wrong. You can't throw a flag for another 5. Just that one official.
Great. And, just to piggyback on that, we got a great idea because you need people to know who did it, right? They all look
alike.
Who
made the mistake?
So if a ref makes a call, the call's overturned, that ref has to wear a dunce cap for the remainder of the game so that everyone knows not to listen to him.
Is the dunce cap still a thing in 2023?
We're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring it back. So the dunce cap, but do they have to? Can they still officiate with the dunce cap, or do they have to sit out?
Yeah, they have a band.
Experience.
They have a rubber band that holds it under the chin.
It holds it under the chin. I'm just saying it's harder. Like the dunce cap may not stay on if they're running around. Does the dunce cap say anything, or does it have anything on it, or is it
says
just
dunce?
Oh, it says dunce.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we may need to get you one here based on the quality of this conversation.
Yeah, we're going to get one for you soon.
No, yeah, that's fine. I like the penalty box idea better, but let's keep the dunce cap.
Jealous.
Let's keep the dunce cap.
Basically,
in the mix.
a Lion's hat is a dunce cap, but let's keep
keep it in the
going.
We got a better.
Yeah.
All right. We got an even better idea. This will solve all the problems.
Yeah.
All right. Ref makes a call. Call gets overturned. Right. Instead of just announcing the call gets overturned and, you move on. No, the ref has to get on the PA system and publicly say to the entire stadium, look, I fucked up. My bad. I apologize. Don't you think that would help?
Apology?
Also, he's got to wear a dunce cap, but, you know.
I mean, I like the idea of the apology. It might help, alleviate. There's a lot of negative energy surrounding officiating, and I think that if we can actually humanize these officials and they can come out and say, I'm sorry. I feel like that's not a bad idea, as long as it's not, that we don't, maybe not with the dunce cap, maybe just the apology.
All right, so Dean, out of which of those rules are you going to go take to Roger Goodell?
I'm taking the official that throws the flag that is wrong is in a 5-minute penalty box, gets a 5-minute penalty.
Where's dunce cap?
No. I'm dunce cap. I'll bring that to him as well. I don't think that's gonna.
Okay.
If there's anyone wearing a dunce cap,
guess what? You're wearing a dunce cap.
Dunce on this show.
Guess what? You're Dunsky. You're finished. You're wearing an off the show cap. Off the show, because you're off the show. Off the show cap for you. See ya. Dean Blandino.
Fusco Satellite Network.
Is he off the line?
Jay, hang up the phone.
New rule should be he's never allowed on the show again.
Yeah, he's the dean of terrible interviews.
Great one, Tony. Way to turn it around there, And we're not going to let him ruin what was otherwise a terrific show all around.
Yeah.
Of course, we want to thank our good friends at Denny's.
Thank you.
Hey, hold on.
Talking about someone we need to
Jay.
rule off the show. Producer Jay, what?
What?
Corrections.
What? Hurry up.
You said the Eagles should be favored by 47 points over the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it should be more.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the biggest spread in NFL history. That doesn't make any statistical sense.
Oh, yeah? Well, the biggest spread is going to be after the show when I spread your ashes.
Yeah. You know what spread you're never going to see? A woman's legs. Yeah. You're
Great
done.
one, Tony.
Thank you.
No.
That's it. We're done.
When you were talking about the World Series, you said the combined population of Texas and Arizona is 100 million people.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah,
So-
sounds about right, bro.
No, not around there. It's not even close. There are only approximately 37 million people combined in both states.
Oh, yeah? Well, after the show, I know what state you're going to be in. Comatose.
Yeah. There are also approximately 37 million people who wish you'd shut the f*** up. Yeah, you're done.
Good one, Tony.
Let's get out of here. We're finished.
At the top of the show, you said people can take you at, quote, space value.
Yeah, bro, they
Yeah,
can.
so?
It's face value. There's no such thing as space value.
Oh, yeah? Well, if there's something you're going to face, it's your imminent death.
Yeah. You know what space has a lot of value? The hole we're going to throw your body in. Boom! You're done.
Great one, Tony.
Yeah,
And,
we're done.
Talking
We
about
said
a hole
he
on the
shook.
show. We have guest spots to fill every week. Well, it
Yeah,
was
we
just
do.
filled for next week by Super Bowl legend, Eagles hero, Nick Foles will
Wow.
be joining us anyway.
Great
Don't forget,
news.
visit our merch store, 20% off
Buy
everything.
it all.
Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok where we continue to blow up. And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.